Some unfortunate news coming in this morning. Bollywood legend Rishi Kapoor, the actor, has passed away. That's the very unfortunate news coming in. Yesterday we had the demise of Irfan Khan, and today Rishi Kapoor. And clearly 2020 is a year that will be remembered for taking away from all of us a lot of things. Rishi Kapoor, an actor, veteran actor for decades in the Hindi film industry, has a career which witnessed a lot of hit films, a lot of art and cinema that he displayed. Known for his talent, versatility, actor Rishi Kapoor has passed away. He was battling a long-standing illness. He was a cancer patient. He was taking treatment for a very long time, for the past 1 year, at multiple countries, and he was admitted just about yesterday. My colleague Shilpa Ratnam is with us on the phone line. Shilpa, very unfortunate news coming in.
Well, yes, Rishi Kapoor has been ailing from cancer, and in fact, he has been in and out of hospital for the last 2 weeks. Ranbir, Alia, and his other family members, when they've had to go and visit him, have been wearing hazmat suits, and they haven't been able to visit him so much. I'm still talking in the present sense, but tense. But yes, the actor we're hearing no more, 67 years old, passed away in the HN Reliance Hospital just a few moments ago, confirmed by the hospital now, and also by his colleague and very dear friend Amitabh Bachchan, who was the first one to break the news. Now the actor has been ailing from cancer, and he's been undergoing treatment in the US. This happened for a year, and then Rishi Kapoor made a return back to India in September last year. He was also expected to resume work on his films. He was very active on social media, and he hasn't tweeted anything since April 2nd. His condition was worsening, and he was in the ICU for a couple of weeks, actually, in and out of it. He was also on and off ventilator, but his condition has worsened increasingly this morning, and unfortunately,
as you're getting all those details, Shilpa, tributes are pouring in from different quarters. Rajiv Masand is also with us on the broadcast. Rajiv, this is clearly not a good morning.
It's clearly not a good morning. We had heard since yesterday that Rishi Kapoor's condition had been worsening, but the truth is, for the last 2 weeks, Rishi Kapoor has been in and out of hospital. We know that for a fact, that his wife Neetu has been by his side. We know that his son Ranbir had been spending time around him, and one had heard about how difficult it was to of course visit him during these times of COVID, and while the restrictions on traveling, while the restrictions on patients and who they can meet were so stringent. But now there is this heartbreaking news this morning that in fact Rishi Kapoor has passed. It is now confirmed. There are tributes from the industry, like you said. Amitabh Bachchan, who's an old friend and a close friend of his and a family friend, has in fact tweeted and confirmed. We know from the family as well that Rishi Kapoor has in fact passed. It was in 2018 that he was diagnosed with cancer while he was shooting a film. And his son, of course, after he took unwell, they did tests. It was Ranbir who took him straight to New York. His condition was so fragile that he could not return. Barely a week later, for his own mother's passing. Rishi Kapoor's mother, Krishna Raj Kapoor, passed away barely a week after he flew to New York for treatment. He could not, of course, come and perform the final rites. He was in New York for a whole year. He was in New York. He returned last year. His condition was better. He resumed shooting, but again he took unwell when he was shooting in Delhi. And he had to be brought back to Mumbai. He was in and out of hospitals for the last couple of months. We know that for the last 2 weeks, he was in and out of hospital. But now comes the heartbreaking news that in fact Rishi Kapoor has passed at the age of 67.
Yeah, as you're pointing out, Rajiv, that he was shooting for a film while he got to know about his cancer, took treatment in New York for about a year. His entire family was beside him. In the last few years of his life, and it's so unfortunate that I'm talking in the past tense right now, and the actor has passed away. What are the pieces of cinema, art that he leaves behind? What is the most memorable, perhaps, conversation or a memory you cherish with the actor?
Rishi Kapoor has actually been one of my absolute favorite actors for years. It's no secret. He's, he was an incredibly versatile actor who, for the bulk of it, unfortunately, is remembered only for his romantic roles. In the 80s, in the 70s, even when Amitabh Bachchan was the angry young man Bollywood, of Hindi cinema. Rishi Kapoor was continuously and diligently, making the romantic films, making emotional films, and he didn't frequently. One speaks about how he didn't get his due as an actor, but it's interesting that Rishi Kapoor himself has said that he really began to get his due much after he transitioned from leading man to character actor.
Yes.
Even just as a leading man, his performances in films like Bobby, which was his first film as a leading hero, and before that, even in Mera Naam Joker, when he was a child actor, if you like, and later on, of course, in so many films. I think that what one will remember him for is his incredible comic timing, his incredible range and versatility. One tends to remember largely the romantic films, the Yash Chopra films, Chandni, and so many other films. But Bol Radha Bol and Luck by Chance, which he made with Zoya Akhtar a few years ago. This was a man who actually came into his own and continued to get exciting roles well into his launch. I think it was well over 20 heroines were launched opposite him. We tend to speak mostly of his romantic films. He was of course the hero that wore the sweater. In the 90s,
Yes.
he used to wear the sweater in most of his films, and the joke used to be in Bombay's temperatures and Bombay's climates, who wears a sweater? But this was a man who made sweaters fashionable in the movies in a climate that was not suited for it. He is one of Bollywood's most versatile actors, born into a film family, of course, blue-blooded Kapoor, but an incredible actor, moody, temperamental, but very, very affectionate.
Yeah, and Rajiv, as we fondly remember the legacy that he leaves behind, I also remember seeing on Twitter the candid political views he'll often put forward, or jokes he would often crack and, perhaps sometimes get a backlash for. He was known to be candid, to speak his mind.
That's absolutely true. He was really someone who spoke his mind, who didn't mince words. He often got into trouble for that.
Yeah.
He's spoken to me about how he's actually someone who's always spoken his mind, whether it was in interviews, whether it was in magazine interviews or television interviews. But social media is a whole new beast, and he took to it, bumpily, because of course he got into a lot of trouble for his political views. He's often tweeted about how roads should not be named after a certain, politicians of a certain party.
Yeah.
He got into trouble from politicians of that party. He's spoken about, he's spoken about current affairs and got into a lot of trouble. But he was a man who actually always spoke his mind. If you read his memoir that he wrote, Khulam Khula Pyar Karenge, it was Khulam Khula Pyar. It really, this was one candid memoir. He spoke very openly about people he didn't get along with, people whose talent he thought was limited but continued to do very well. He spoke about his I don't know what the word is, but he spoke about how Amitabh Bachchan and him had a sort of, a rivalry of sorts, even though Amitabh Bachchan is a close family friend. He spoke about how, Amitabh Bachchan got more than Rishi Kapoor did, and that he used to feel, slighted about that. He was really someone who spoke his mind. He, at the cost of coming across very often as brusque and rude. And I know the journalists were very wary of approaching him. I have to say, I had the good fortune of knowing him quite well, and he was really wonderful if you got to know him. He was someone who enjoyed the company of friends. He was someone who, great food, great wine. He was